Hello and welcome back to Garage 86. I'm sitting inside the car today, so that's probably a pretty good indication as to where we're kicking things off. Got a few jobs I want to get done, and to start with is an eviction. Some people may not like it, but I've got a feeling, or personal preference in fact, that I don't want this freeloader in my car anymore. She's not paying her way and she's annoying every time I start it. Hopefully you can hear me now. It's a little bit loud, let me shut the door. But yeah, the lady in question hasn't spoken yet. I was expecting her to. But come on, where are you? You're not talking to me today. There she is. She's quite right, there is no ETC card. So, is there really a point in having an ETC card reader? I would argue no. And seeing as it's my car, she's got to go. So I hope no one's got too attached. But yeah, here's me trying to take her out. Let's see how we get on. First things first, disconnect the battery. I'll be right back. Right, now the battery is disconnected. So first things first, this is the last bit I'll probably do on by hand, is meet the lady in question. And she resides in here. These are just some bits that came with the car, a little Allen key, the nut for the wheels. But yeah, that's her there. And our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to get her out of the car. But I'm going to change to the tripod just to try and get a nice picture without juddery movements for you all. So I'll be back in a sec. So first things first is dropping this down, which is just a squeeze on that side and squeeze on that side. Then you can lower it down, disconnect it from there if you like. And you can see this colossal massive cabling just in here. So, and it's all coming this way. So I'm thinking this has all got to go. So let's get you reset up on a different angle and we'll make a start. So I got a little snip happy first, just because I figured that this cable was probably related to the stereo. So I took that out and cut the sleeving around it, that big grey looking bag of mush there, and yeah, that does indeed look to be separate. And then I've also found another big bag of mush which goes straight into the EDC. So it looks like she's got some secrets for me that she wants to share. So let's get these panels off and start finding out what they are. Right, so first things first, anything's got to come out here, this has got to come out. So tool, plastic tool, just try and get it in behind there and just lever up and then work your way around. There's one here, one here, one here and one here, and then that should all just pop off like that. And that reveals some screws, some fixings, and in actual fact in this case some bolts, which I didn't plan for, but luckily I do have a 10mm in my pocket. So let me just get an extension. And then we've got 4 bolts. So there's one just here for the top of the stereo, which I will be changing at a later date, but currently, as I'm not using the car, it's money I could be using elsewhere, so not just yet. So take this one out as well. 2 down, another 2 to go. They're just a little bit further in, don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but just like that. Undo those two. Thank you for that coming out. And this one here also a little bit far in, but no real trouble. Could have used a longer extension, but getting there. And that's the fourth one out. So hopefully, yeah, out comes the stereo. Wow, there's a lot of cables behind it. So let's disconnect them. So I've got some room to put this down. Wow, there's a lot of cables on the back of this. So that's that out of the way. For a little bit more access, I'm going to take this bit out of the way as well, which is just these two screws. Like that. Let's push all that stereo stuff out of the way. And then that releases these panels, allegedly. Oh. That didn't sound good, did it? maybe not. Maybe I've got to do this as well. There we go, got that up. Now do these come out easier? Undo these at the bottom. That side came out a lot easier, didn't it? And then that shows us another bolt over here. Now I've noticed some screws missing, but I can guarantee they're not me that are taking them out, so it must have been when it was installed in the first place. But look, let's take that out, and then this panel should come out like that. And then we got one fixing up the top, one little clip up here. Sadly it's on the bottom, but there we go, got that. And then two more, I'll show you the back in a second, just here and here. So that's these two and that one. Let's put that out the way for now. And now we got a little bit more room to see what we're up to in here. So if I try and route these red and yellow cables out, because they're going to be the easy ones to find. There's that plug here. Let's take this out first, because this is not affected by any of that business. Don't believe, anyway. Separate these ones out, which look to be power, on the back of the machine here, and well, safe to say that colossally did not go to plan, hence why I cut the video. The swear machine couldn't take it anymore. But so I'm now just left with all the OEM cabling, got rid of all the other ones. But I also then had to strip back a lot of the interior panels, which some I've now replaced, including the back seat, and even round into the boot. I had to take off my new panel with my grab handle, took out the camera, and that massive clump of wiring that was round here. And if I take you around the front, I'll show you how serious it got. So yeah, this is all the rear view camera. This section is the GPS for the all the aerials for the ETC system. There's the card holder itself. Here's the box that receives the information from it, and this little lump is all the additional stuff that was added for the stereo system. So yeah, for a bit of fun, I'll whack it all on a scale and let you know the weight saving. But yeah, sorry I had to cut the video, but that honestly took me a good 2 hours to get all that done, and I haven't got it all back. So the video is going to change somewhat. We're still going to stay inside, but I've got some other bits to show you going in. Dashboard with all the original connectors as it came from the factory, all the others removed. I actually found another two, which were the microphone for the stereo if you're taking phone calls, and this little black box is the speaker for the ETC system. But I just got one more plug, two more plugs to undo, which are the ones on the back of this button, which is to remedy the fact that this car has no charging ports. There's just a flat block in there. So first job, we're going to sort that out. So what I've got is this little Grazio CO charging port. It's got two USBs in there, and it fits in here if I don't make a total bodge of it. So let's see how we go. And then that is out the way, and then hopefully this should slot in there. Let's have a look. Not quite. Neaten it up a bit. And it should sit flush. Let's push the cable through. Aha. And there we are. Let me give you a close-up. Yeah. That's one job I've actually finished today. Nice. Just to add to the fun of all this, as if it weren't fun enough already, got that in there now, looking quite tidy. Got the connector on the back, which goes into this thermocouple to try and keep everything nice and cool. And I've even got another end here which can go into this extension. But what I was sold it as is this end goes straight into the back of the cigarette lighter. So you have this adapter here, you plug that into the cigarette lighter, and then the cigarette lighter one into here. But it doesn't work like that. That would be far too easy. Unfortunately, the BRZ and the 86 have a different system, which looks like a two-pronged L-shaped plug. So what I'm going to have to do instead is reuse something I got from removing all the wiring, and snip off the ends here and here, and use a couple of these little vampiric ones that the Japanese tend to love so much. And they work simply by pushing one of the sides in there like that, and then you push this little metal tip down onto it and push it until it grips, and then it actually cuts into the thread of the shroud of the wire keeps everything intact, and you can put it into the original part of the system and keep it all neat and tidy. So I'll get these ready to go and then I'll show you on the car. Sorry for not bringing you along on the journey again, but got it connected. Use my 2 Vampire connections up here. Now I'm just going to connect that back up and just test it, make sure it all still works. So I've got it just sitting back in the car. It's not connected up yet, but here's all the rest of the cabling that should connect to this bit over here. So let me just see if I can do that. Hopefully, when I put the neutral terminal on the battery, that should light up. Let's see. Got nothing yet. That's discouraging. Can't see that these being plugged in would make any difference, but I'll try. No. Bit of further investigation and I'll get back to you. Okay, so you may have to excuse me being an absolute idiot, but I forgot it's in ignition. It's only on when the ignition's on. So I hadn't put the ignition on, but now you can hear it beeping away annoyingly and you can see it all lit up. So, dumbass. Let's start putting it back together. Thought I'd jump a few leaps forward just to get everything back together so you didn't have to watch all that go again. There's the little box down there now. I've run all the cabling for it, fixed it to the top of this CPU unit, and then it's just got a single connector, just this little white one, which fits in there like that with plenty of slack. The one in the back's already in, and then this one goes in here and this one in there, and then that little unit just slides back in place on the bottom. But I do have a different idea for this area here. So if you just follow me to the bench and I'll show you what I've got in mind. So this is what we're all familiar with on the earlier models, 2015, 2016 is this earlier one with like the almost checker plate symbols on there. But I prefer the look of the latter model, so I've got one of those instead with like the carbon fibre look. But this area here is a little bit scratched up, so I'm going to use the one from the original for that. But to get it out, all you have to do on the back, you've got one clip here on the side and one clip, come on, here on the side, and that, you know, it's not going well for me today. That should just push out. There we go. So put that one to the side. All the connections on the back are the same, but let me just do the same here. I'll swap this one out first, put this other one in. Nice satisfying click. But yeah, don't know if you can see on this one, but there's quite a few scratches on the screen, but no issue. Drop that in there like that. So let's get this one in the car. In my history of messing it up today, I've messed it up today. So what I've done is I've taken us back to this stage so that we can fit this new lower cluster. So that just has the white one going in there, the other white one going over here, the grey one goes up in the top. Make sure all these ones are out the way, they're for the stereo. And then this should just, excuse me, push back into place. But of course it's not. Like that. Not my day today. Alright, now let's get some screws to tuck into here. And over here. And then that's in there like that. Then we need to, firstly, before putting this back, we've got to slide this back in position. So you're coming with me for the ride. And we've got two screws just behind this. So I'm just going to disconnect this one and this one. Swivel that out the way. And we've just got two fixings just down here to put in. So let's get those done up. Starting to come back together, slowly but surely. So there's one. One on the other side. Then reconnect these two. So that's one in there, one in there, and then this should just push back underneath there, like that. Right, so I'll just get these trim panels back on, and then we should be in a pretty good position. So they go on with this bit slacked off. I'll just show you when it's done. All pretty much back together now, leaving the radio out. Not much sense in having that in. But it wouldn't be my car without another TRD part. So this trim panel goes down here, can stay down there. And instead, I've got one with a TRD knee pad on, just because. There you go. Another bit of red and black TRD stuff. Now I'll just connect the battery up, make sure all that stuff's still working. So there we go. With the ignition on, everything lights up. This is all good. Got the button down there, that's lit up. All of these still adjust. Got our different blowers there. And everything does as it's supposed to. Right, so I'm going to call it a day physically for there. But I'm going to put some more bits on the end of this video when I pick up in the morning. Back again, another interior day, another red t-shirt, different one though, I assure you I did wash. But today we're going to try and settle a little issue that's always annoyed me with these, with the folding mirrors. You can do it on the button and they'll fold in, but I wouldn't mind a little system that had it so that it did it when you lock the car up, like most modern cars. Now I know there are a lot of modules out there. I've gone with the original BRZ one, which was a Subaru system. They like to make it more difficult. I mean, it's a nicely made loom, but they do also have another vampiric connector on it. But I'll go through all that when we start doing it. So first things first, let's get the door card off. So just a little pry or a little screwdriver, and you've got a little pop cap there, and there's a Phillips just in here. Undo that one. And then grab your plastic pry bar and try and get it just under the fascia part of this door handle, which is easier said than done. There we go. And slide that up. Needs a bit of force, this one. There we go. And out it clips. Right, pop that down there. And then we've got another two Phillips, one at the top here and one just in this hole that we've just created. So undo those. And then that should be looser. Right, now grab your, oh, there's another pop clip over here. I'll resort to the little screwdriver for that. And out that comes. Or doesn't. Typical. But that's what that looks like. It's just that system we're all used to. Push it down and it pops up to open up. And then use your trim removal tool and just work your way around, finding coppers. These are all tight because it hasn't been done before by the looks of it. Nice when you get your fingers caught. There we go. And then that should lift up. Now, it's hard to show you, so let me move the camera around. But down here, you've got two fixings on the door handle and two fixings down here, which are just your usual electronic push clips, which are for the electric window switches. So I'm going to try and take these off because I have a plan for the door afterwards. There we go. It's the white and the green one off. And that might just give me access down here to undo this door light switch. And over here, you get that little plastic screwdriver. There should be and rather awkwardly placed release tabs. They're on the top on this one, and I bet they'll be in an awkward position on this one too. Let's see if I can rotate it round. Always fun when you've never undone these before, because they're as tight as anything. There we go. Right. So, these were your two fixings here for the windows. There was your one down there for the light, and there was the ones here, which were these two for the door mechanism. But I'll pop this out of the way, give us all a better look. So I just brought you in a little bit closer, hopefully just to make it a bit easier to see where we're going. But effectively you've got females connectors and male connectors. So where we had this female before, which went into the door switch, you connect that one. And where we had this one before, you connect, which way round? That one. There we go. Then these two still go into your window switches like they did before. And then this one is the one that goes to the new module. This is the only one that's any different, which actually comes all the way down here onto this red connector down the far end. Sorry, red connector, this door connector down here. Pull that one out, and what we do with this one is we tap into this little red connector with this little yellow one here. But what I've got to try and do first is run this along the door. I hate this stuff, it's so sticky. Alright. Where can I put this through? Because this has got to stay here. So if I put it through there like that, break the rubbery yuckiness, pull that up, and then I'm going to try and run along this cable route to here. Let's get this out of the way. And they've given us oodles of tie wraps to try and keep it all in place. So let's make a start with those. Got one here. I'll leave a bit of slack. Let's run it first and see how much room I've actually got. Right, put it through this little slit down the bottom here, which you can't see. There we go, that's better. This little slit down here and up, and it comes and meets with the connection up here. So if I take back some of this tape so that we've got a little bit of space to do our connector, let me just get a knife. Right, now let's delicately cut the sleeve in. You don't want to cut the wires too. So about there. And we only need the red cable. rather sticky. Right, it's starting to come loose though. There we go. Right, so with these connections, it's the same as we saw yesterday. You push that in between the metal sleeve in just there, like that. Give it a push down. And then you connect this over the top. And then you've tapped into that. And as you push it closed, which I'm going to use these oversized grips for, it just bites into the cable without breaking it. So there we go, there's that. Let's get tie wrap happy. And then let's just do that one up, snip it off, do that one up, snip it off, same here, and here. I'll put the model number for this in the comments in case you are interested. But so far, if it works, it's been quite an easy install, which is much better than it was yesterday. And one more, just for luck, just go round here, just to keep it all stable. Now, there's still quite a lot of slack here, but there's a reason for that. I'll just put this back before I forget. There you go. Break through the black gunkiness again. Try not to tear it, because this is what keeps your door water out of your cabin. There we are. Right, now the only other part is this module here, which connects to this slightly different looking box over here. So yeah, there's your module, and that connects just in there, but this actually fits with double-sided tape to the back of the door, and I've just got a few little bits to do to that door before it goes back on. So I'll go and get cleaned up, and then I'll take you over to a flat space where we can put it all together. Right, so no expense spared here with this old sheet, but let me just talk you through the bits I've got. These two are from the 2019 US TRD model, the later model. So that will replace, not if I had the right way around, or if I had the right one. That will replace that one, and that will replace that up there with that suede look. And then following on from yesterday, doing the carbon fibre look material on the centre console, I've got the one there to replace the standard door ones there. So let me just grab the right one of these and I'll be right with you. So take 2 on that. This one goes here like that. So continuing the whole black and red theme of the 14R. But right, first things first, let's flip it over. It's mostly going to be an exercise of undoing screws and doing up screws, but let me just show you where they are. So look, on this one, we've got one just here. This is for the back of the window switches. Another just here. And the last one just down here. And then hopefully, oh no, and a 4th one up the top. And then hopefully that should come out. What have we got? Oh yeah, just a little bit tight again because it hasn't been removed. Is there a fixing under there? Oh, it's got an awkward fixing too, just to make life easier. There you go, pull it towards yourself. It's got a little clip there like that just tries to hold it in place. So reversing that with this one, slide our clip in place first, get our 4 screws back in. And this one. Next one along. And the last one just down here. Let's just have a quick look from the other side. Oh yeah, there we go. So that's the later switches on there. Right, now let's move on to these other interior panel parts. So, if we look at the back of this one, you can see we've got some clips. I'm guessing it's going to be under this. Let's have a look. Oh no, you know what? It's down here. That does make life easier. So, we undo this one. Check you can all see. Yeah, that's okay. There's one here, and there's another one just up there. So if I undo those, it does just appear to be 3 fixings on this one. Take that one out, and then hopefully, if we release these clips as we go, we should be able to pull it off. Oh, no, wait, missed one. There's one here as well, by the looks of it. Oh no, no that's not. I think it's just the order you've got to do them in. Push that one up, keep that one up. Where's the next one? Under here, keep that out, and there, keep that out, and then this last one, like that. And then hopefully, of course it jumps back in position. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? That's just the way it's going for me lately, I think. Oh, I missed the one at the front there. There we go, that's the one. Right, and hopefully now it should all lift out. was catching on one of the screw heads. There you go. So that's your armrest out. Put this one in from the front side first. Make sure it all sits in position. That was a lot easier than taking it off. Then get your screws back. So just 3 on this one. In the reverse of last order. That one. This one. And this one. I'll save the reveal until I've put this one on, but again, this one's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then just our pop fittings again. So let's just double check. Yep, they are quite low on that one. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the final one, 6. And then hopefully it should just lift up. Got some clips under here, just your usual push clip affair. So work from one side to the other. Helps if you loosen it on the other side when you're doing it. There we go, it's starting to come out now. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Right, so for the reverse, just sit this back in and then do our screws up. I'll start with the one nearest me again. 1, 2, get that fluff out of the way. There we go. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's see how that all looks together. Rather smart, I think. Yeah, like that. Let me just hold it up for you. And then let's get it back on the car and I'll show you those last connections that go into the door. Right, that module we were talking about earlier has double-sided tape on the back already. That just sits here like that. So if I take the tape off, easier said than done. Oh, there we go. And then we just press this in place just here like that. And they provide this double-sided sticky foam to go over the top. There's a little bit excess, but I think it goes on the top as well as the back. Not that I can get it off anyway. So then that just wraps around the side, over the front and down, and then I'll just nick that off. Or not. Quite tough stuff, like that. And then I will stick a bit on the top as well. Oh, let's just double seal it. There we go. As long as we still got access to the connector on the front, we're fine. Right, now the reverse, the installation is pretty much the reversal of the disconnection. So, let me just get those, get the green and white connectors connected so it's all in position, and then I'll show you where everything else goes. So that's those bits done, that's fixed back on. Just need to show you the connectors now, which is going to be interesting one-handed, but I'll try my best. So I'll stick that end back together in a minute. But down the bottom here, we've got the chunky one that goes into there, into the bottom of the window switches, and this white one here goes into the top of the window switches, just there. So if I zoom out a bit so you can see the whole picture, this last one is the one that goes in this box up here. So I will try and film it, but I'm trying also to, let me plug them in and then I'll show you. And yeah, that's done. So we've got the one in the top of the window switch, the one in the bottom, and the one that just goes into that box there. Then I'll just neaten up this plasticky gunkiness and sit the door back on. And then that's sitting back on. So we just got to go around, knocking all the pop clips in, making sure they all fit. Then we've got our black tab that just goes back into here. There we are. We've got our screwdriver on the other side of the car. Bear with me a sec. We've got our screwdriver, and then these just go back into here where they came out from. One in there, one in this little lump down here, and one in here. And then we got the little black cover just to go back over the top. Pop that in there. Got that a bit dusty, I'm afraid. And then the handle. So it's got this lip at the top which goes in first, and then work your way down. And there it is. Now let me just stand back so you can see it all in one go. And I'll quickly change the other bits on the other side, and then we'll test to see whether the mirrors go in. Fingers crossed. Well, it seems to have worked. They've closed themselves. So let me just see if I start the car, if they open themselves. Open, the windows still work, unfold them on the switch still, but the second you turn the car off, lock it. Done. Mission complete, I'd say. And just to show, on the passenger side, all done as well. Everything exactly the same. The only difference was the switch, because it hasn't got all the central locking stuff. It's just got the lower fixing at the bottom, none at the top. But other than that, all fitted exactly the same way, back together, hopefully making an improvement on the interior. One question though, with this being the UK and you're only supposed to see red from the back of the car, do I need to change these to red? I'm thinking I might anyway, just to keep the theme. But anyway, that's that, I think. Time to sign off, because it has been a long couple of days. Well, thanks for coming along with me on the journey, which was a long 2 days in Garage 86. But let's look on the positives. We got all the ETC and the camera system and the stereo system removed, so we're all back to the factory wiring. We got the USB charging system installed as well, which wasn't there in the first place. We've got the carbon fibre in the doors, in the dash, and also the new TRD coloured red and black interior parts, the Alcantara on the top of the doors, and the folding mirror module. So it was a long day, 2 days, but a worthwhile 2 days. And also, I found my driving joy. Drive joy. This also fell out the dash. It's supposed to be like a aromatic thing with a little scented doohickey inside, but it doesn't smell anymore. So that can go in the pile there with the other 4 or so kilos of stuff we've removed. But if you've stuck with me this long, thanks for doing so. Appreciate your time, appreciate your eyes, appreciate your ears. And hopefully you like what you're seeing, and if you do, you want to subscribe or hit a like, much appreciated. And I'll catch you next time on Garage 86. See you later for now.